Say it's okay. Sorry, I got you down on the ground, then I didn't remember to. Sorry, Gail. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to head back to my mat. I forget about that button that we have to push. Hi, and welcome to Yoga Bridge. My name is Cindy, and today we'll be doing some some movement for the lymphatic flow to encourage that. So we're going to start lying down. You'll need a blanket folded under your head or a thin pillow, and then a block also. So get yourself comfortable on your back. As we begin, and if you need to bend the knees and put the feet on the floor, that's an option. Just connect yourself to the floor. Maybe your arms are out to the side, or maybe you have them across your belly or your chest. We're just going to center ourselves by using the breath and that flow of breath. So one of the best ways of clearing the system is deep belly breathing, so that just helps get things moving in your core. We're going to work from the core out to the limbs and then back through, so it kind of clears the channels for the lymphatic system to move, and then we'll come back up into the belly area. So we're going to start right here in the core with a 3-part breath. So we'll keep our breath through our nose so that we're cleansing and warming the air. And we think about taking our breath fully into our lungs. So let's just get create the space that we need first by taking a little bit deeper breath every time we inhale. And get the lungs at full capacity of breath, or nearly. And then we're going to think about those 3 parts: the lower lungs, middle, and higher lungs. We think of it as the belly, the ribs, and the chest. So when you think about breathing all the way down to the bottom of the lungs, extending the belly so there's more space, but also more movement in your core. So think about breathing to the bottom of the lungs, and then when you feel, think about the ribs opening, and then lastly, the chest getting full of air, and then let that breath go. Breathe into the bottom of the lungs, the belly extends, the ribs move, and the chest rises. And then slowly let that breath go. So keep that flow. Go at a speed that's nice and smooth for you. I like to think about that breath being like a wave coming in on the ocean. So it swells up through the core and moves up towards my collarbones. And I let that breath out, just like the water's just moving back in towards the ocean. Whatever helps you to stay connected into this flowing 3-part breath. Let's breathe here for a few moments. As you're breathing here, think about relaxing your face, the muscles over the top of your head. Relax your back into the floor, your legs. Breathe through 2 more of these flowing, deep 3-part breaths. And then set your rhythm to keep breathing through your nose, breathing in past your collarbones. We're going to return to that 3-part breath at different times during our practice. And I'm not sure, I had mentioned in the class notes about bringing a drink with you, and I actually forgot to leave, left mine on the other side of the room and forgot to remind you. So I will just verbally say it. If you have a drink, take a sip. If you don't, then it will just be a clue for you to remember to do that often when you're working in this way. The lymphatic system, or any time after yoga you've moved and it still isn't encouraging the lymphatic flow, it's always good to drink a big glass of water after your practice. So we're just going to start by encouraging the belly area to move the lymphatic lymph down towards the groin. So the hands are going to go on the belly right at the bottom of your ribs, and then use a light touch. Just run your hands down your belly to the top of your thighs into your hip crease, where that bend happens when you lift your legs, when you sit down, into that area where the glands are in your groin. Just a nice light touch, smooth. Great. One more time, move the hands down your belly to your hip creases. And then we're going to create some movement in the hip creases, bending the knees, drawing the knees into the body. Rock from side to side for just a moment here. We're holding behind the legs. Our thumbs are in front because we need that to kind of hold on to the legs when we move in a different way. So next time that you rock to center, hold there. Our knees are coming all the way in. They're pressing and contracting the area, our hip creases, low belly, and tops of thighs. And we use our hands to take our knees away from us, just to straighten the arms. Our knees are maybe up away from our, straight up from our hip joints. And then our knees come in as we exhale. And then they move away as we inhale. So we're just moving the legs back and forth, creating that movement right there at the top of the legs. So working from the core out towards our feet and some movements. The next time that your knees are away from you, circle your knees so that go to the sides and then back towards the belly, and the opposite side and then away. So making those circles, if that feels okay for you. Sometimes the back on the floor, it's kind of uncomfortable. So just see for you if that works. If not, I can just keep moving the legs in and out. Let's go the opposite way in our circles. And then draw the knees in towards you. Keep those knees in as you slip your hands loose and extend them out from your shoulders. If you need to bend the arms slightly, take a little bend if you have a lot of tightness or some tightness there in the chest. Just kind of rock the knees from side to side now. Stretching a little bit on the side hips, waistline. Still in that same area. Back and forth. One more time each direction, and then the next time that you would come to center, we're going to put our feet down on the floor. So draw the hands in, and then you'll put your palms face down by your hips. We can either just squeeze and barely lift the hips, or we can lift all the way up to bridge, just depending on where you are. The contraction of the muscles and the release are what is pumping your lymph through your body. So whatever feels good for you, tuck those feet in, and we're going to either squeeze the hips or lift up with that squeeze. So find what works best for you in the position and pose that you're in. You're lying on the ground or you're reclining back in a chair, lifting and squeezing, breathing, finding a flow of breath and matching the movement to your breathing. Inhaling, exhaling. And most of our poses that we'll be going to are vinyasa, are moving with breath. That's the contraction and release, the stretching. It's so good. Lift up, squeeze, squeeze, and then unsqueeze or lower yourself to the floor and move your feet out to the very edges of the mat. So you're a bit of a straddle with bent legs. Extend the arms out to hold your chest open. And we're just going to create a little more movement there in that area with some windshield twists. Our knees go over to one side, they lift back to center, and they go the opposite way. So it's important that we have the feet out a bit in straddles so that our knee has that space to move into, and we get that stretch down the front of the leg, encouraging movement. Clearing those channels back and forth. One more time, each direction. And the next time that your feet come to the floor, heel toe your feet together and reach for your legs and draw them in. So use your fingers to just gently press in behind your knees. There's lymph glands there. So those knees can be just softened, the legs against the back of the thighs a bit so that the muscles aren't contracting and you can get your fingers in there. But there's not a real big need to press hard, just some movement into the back of the leg. And we're just going to move the lower legs. We're going to kind of lift the feet up and then drop them back down against the back of the thighs and lift them up and down. So it's no need to straighten the legs all the way. We're not really working at getting a stretch. We're just working at the pumping, that area behind the legs. It's working down the legs from the core. The next time that your legs are up towards the ceiling, we're going to pump the feet. So again, the legs don't have to be straight. Pull the toes back, push the heels up, point the toes. So it's like we're pushing on gas pedal with both feet, back and forth. So as you can tell, you're contracting the muscles in the calves and then you're stretching them. This is the same action you get when you're pushing off and walking. So, why just walking is such a good thing because it's squeezing and releasing. Because the muscles are tightening and taking up more space, and that contraction is giving that pumping action, squeezing action to the lymphatic system, running down the legs and the circulatory system also. So it's all good. Let's take some circles with our feet, just kind of catching those sides, ankle areas. So we circle the feet around. And then reverse the way that you're circling. We're going to draw our knees in. And then just set your feet on the floor for a moment. You can extend the legs or leave the legs bent. Let's go back to that 3-part breath. All the way to the bottom of the lungs. Filling to the collarbones, through the ribs, breathing out. Feel that wave. One more full 3-part breath. And then we're just gonna quickly go back up through from the feet all the way back to our core. So just draw those knees into your body so you can lift the legs. Circle the feet. Reverse the circle. Pumping the feet. Pushing on that imaginary gas pedal. Now bend the knees, drop the calves back to the back of the thighs, and then lift and lower, lift. And lower. Next time that you are closed, calves against the thighs, put your feet down, walk your feet out to the edges of the mat. Open your heart with extended arms. And then go back and forth from side to side with a windshield twist. Dropping the leg in. Twisting. Stretching, contracting, releasing. No hurries. But one more time, each direction. Whenever your knees come back to top, walk your feet back in. So we're going to draw our hands beside us. We can either squeeze and just contract those hip muscles and release so that we still have a contraction release, or we can lift all the way up and bridge and squeeze. Release, squeeze, release. Energy, movement. So good. Let's lift or squeeze one more time. And then when we release, we're going to draw our knees into our body. Get your knees tucked in tight and extend the arms. Twist here from side to side. So this twist is a little different from the windshield twist because it's more in the waistline and more in the side hip, in our core, a little deeper in the belly area. One more time, each direction. And whenever you come to center, pull behind the legs. Push the knees away from you. And then draw your knees back in. So your knees are just moving away and back in. Stimulating the area in the hip crease. Gentle pressure in your low belly and tops of thighs. Elegant exhaling. The next time that your knees are out away from you, go ahead and put your feet down on the floor. And we're just going to encourage with a belly rub again. Fingers pointing towards the legs and just moving the hands down. So you can extend your legs or keep your legs bent. Just encouraging with a light touch. Just a soothing, like we were trying to take the wrinkles out of the front of our skirt. Just flattening our skirt down there. Just feeling your touch on your body as soothing. A couple more times. We're going to roll over onto one side so that we can lift ourselves up.
So just take that movement, press into the floor with your hands so that you are safe getting up, and we can either sit in a chair or sit on the floor. If you're sitting on the floor and you want to bring your blanket over, just put it on the very edge of your hips to tip your hips forward. And if you have your drink nearby, get a big gulp of water. Sometimes it's really nice to put a little squeeze of lemon in, a little bit of honey. Anything that helps you be able to drink more water is good. For the most part, right? So just finding that kind of detoxes your body, just flushes it out to drink more water. So it's all good. Thank you. We're just going to take a few moments to stimulate the upper body with some gentle massage. We're just going to kind of massage in the armpit, just the way we were behind the knees. And this is very gentle, nothing hard, just in that area under the arms. Glands there, stimulating, and then the other side. And then we're going to put one hand with fingers pointing towards the opposite armpit and just rub right along the collarbone and under towards the armpit. So we're going across the chest. And if you've had your breast removed on one side or lip glands, you're going to want to go all the way so that you're not going directly into that armpit area that's had the glands removed, so that you are encouraging to go to a healthier side of your body, more lip glands, able to remove more. And then we're going to go the other way. Just a couple more times. Nice soft touch. And then we'll take the glands up to our ears to stimulate. So we're going to make these V's between our pointer finger and our middle finger, and that V is going to go around the ear so that the bottom of our ear is in that bead area. And gently just run your fingers down. Run them down your neck to your collarbones, top of your collarbones, and go back up. Soft touch, run your fingers down your neck, top of your collarbones. Just a gentle touch. One more time. And then you can rest your hands for a moment. So since we're starting in the middle of the core, we're going to get these sides stretched here with movement. So we're going to move with reaches. So we're going to reach out with our right hand and up and out. So not particularly opening the heart. We're trying to get this whole right side and part of the back area to reach across. And then we're just going to go from side to side, back and forth. Stretch, release, stretch, release. However feels good to you to move. Maybe it feels better not to touch the floor, maybe just to reach across. See what feels good for you. Body. A few more times across each direction. One more time each way. And then when you come to center, hold the knees and round the back. And then push the heart forward. Roll the shoulders back and squeeze the shoulder blades. So move with intention. Finding lots of movement in your spine. Exhaling back, inhaling forward. One more time, each direction. Tall spine. Hands at heart. Opening goddess arms. Spread the fingers. Hands together. Open arms. Hands together. Contract the back muscles. Squeeze those shoulders together. And then come back together. Moving back and forth, goddess arms. Feel that squeeze in your back. One more time. Open. And then rest the hands. Pull the shoulder blades up around your neck. And then drop your shoulder blades. And lift and drop. And you can even lift your arms. You can make circles like locomotive movement. Whatever feels good for you. And reverse the way you're going. Good. And then settle your shoulders down. And we may have created some tension in our neck from the muscles moving. So let's just make circles with our head. And the benefit of that is also the stretch and release. A bit of contraction on the opposite side. Glands in our neck. And reverse the way that you're going. Good. When you get to center, find that nice tall pose. So we've been sitting with our legs crossed a bit. Might be a good time to take a sip and stretch your legs out for a moment. So if you have your water there, just have a sip. Open those legs. If you want to cross your legs back the opposite way, the other leg on front, it's always an option. So it's usually the way it doesn't feel as quite as comfortable for you. Is there ambidextrous leg crossing people out there? Great, we're gonna work down out our arms now. So we're gonna extend the arms out and draw the hands back by the shoulders. And we're just gonna move here, down the arms at the elbows. So even glands in our elbow, front crease of our elbow, getting some stimulation, some encouragement to flow up into the neck and collarbone area, armpit area, back and forth. Great. And the next time that your hands are out, you can bend the elbows if you need or straighten them out. We're just going to do with the wrists here. So we're just going back and forth. And forth. Nice. All the way to the ends of the fingers, getting that movement. Got everything going. But let's rest. Hands on our lap. Take some deep breaths. See if you can feel as much movement when you're sitting up in a 3-part breath, the belly, the ribs, the chest. Let's take 3 slow, long, 3-part breaths here. Nice. And at the end of your third 3-part breath, sure to be breathing in through your nose into your collarbone chest area as we go back up the body. So we'll start again with the movement of the hands. And then the movement of the elbows. Nice. Hands in and down on the lap. Turn the head in a circle. Reversing. And coming to top, pulling the shoulders up around your neck and then down and up, down. Lift one more time. Tall spine, hands at heart. Open and squeeze the back and release, hands together in the front. Squeeze the back, hands together. Squeeze and together. Moving, moving, moving. Good. The next time that your hands are together, take them down to your knees. Roll back into seated cat pose and forward to cow. Move the body. Feeling the arc of the back, feeling the roundness in the front. Move one more time each way, and then find seated, tall spine. We're going to reach across, side reaches, moving shoulder area, stretching the sides. And everything flowing in our body is awesome. But one more time, each direction. And when you come back to center, that V-shaped fingers, just soothing yourself, moving them down, in towards your collarbone. One more swipe down. And then fingers will point towards an armpit area and move across the collarbone, towards our armpit. Other side. I'm gonna have some light rubbing under in the armpit area. The other side. One more swipe. Hands down. Take 3 breaths, deep and full. Wonderful. You have your drink with you. Take a big drink of water. We're gonna go on to our mat, and we're gonna have our block. Now that we have everything sticking out, we're just gonna let gravity kind of encourage that movement with a supported bridge. If you are near a wall or have a chair, another option is to use the chair or the wall or legs up the wall. So either way, we're gonna try to encourage that flow. If you have a block and you're going to a wall or chair, you may even have that under your hips. So you have that little bit of decline from your hips down towards your heart and your collarbones with the legs on the chair or wall. So that's even an added bonus. So find that best place for resting for a few moments in an inversion pose. So on your back with a chair, wall, or block under the hips. So if you do have your block under your hips, you'll want to slide, if you have your blanket there, slide that out from under your head, just so you'll have a better alignment. Won't have any cricking in your neck area. So if you are flat on the floor with your legs on the wall or chair, a little pillow under the head is fine. Just spend a few moments and just imagine that you could see inside your body and it's all just working perfectly. It's just flowing. It's getting rid of toxins. Water that we have drank is helping flush things out. Everything is moving and doing exactly as it needs to rid your body of anything that doesn't serve you, or it's just making you healthier, clearing out for your immune system. So spring is a great time to remember to do a lymphatic kind of cleanse and movement on purpose. But every day is a good day, but it's nice to think about just kind of clearing things out, resetting, reminding ourselves to drink more water and get lots of sleep, get all the sleep you need. That's when the brain kind of clears itself out. Only do that while it's sleeping, and particularly like getting rid of toxins. We can control what we're thinking during the day, and that's a great cleansing. But actual washing of the mind happens when we're sleeping. So we need to have that sleep just for our good mental health. If you like where you are and would like to stay there during meditation and Savasana, feel free to do that. If you'd like to move to another place in another pose of Savasana, lift yourself or release yourself from where you are. If you have the block under you, maybe give yourself a stretch with the knees coming in towards your body and hugging in the legs. If you had your blanket or pillow moved away from under your head, you can move that back under anything else that's comforting to you to use in Savasana pose. Just kind of relax and release into it. Taking 3 deeper breaths, find that 3-part breathing one more time here. Five minutes is a good amount of time for 3-part breathing. It usually brings about a lot of response of the body to kick in the parasympathetic nervous system. But any amount of time that you can breathe a 3-part breath is good for us. And then relax your body. Although you cannot always control your mind, you can encourage it to be more at ease. Learning to do this will help you respond rather than react to your thoughts and emotions. This meditation practice will give you the opportunity to train the mind to slow down when it becomes overactive, helps you reset, helps you practice ease and relaxation instead of focusing on difficult mental states. So we're going to flow these words with our breath. So they don't have to particularly be 3-part, just breathing in and out consciously. I'm going to use these words. Easing the mind. May my mind be at ease as we inhale. May I be at ease with my mind as I exhale. May my mind be at ease as you inhale. May I be at ease with my mind as you exhale. Inhale, ease in your mind. Exhale, being at ease with your mind. Just recognizing that you can't control every thought that arises, but connect with your intention to relax the mind and feel its ease. Any thoughts arise, just let them be. Offer yourself those two simple phrases of kindness towards your mind. May my mind be at ease, and may I be at ease with my mind. Letting go of expectations, letting go of shoulds or coulds or ought tos, and just being at ease. Ease in your mind, at ease. Let your conscious awareness expand from the mind into your whole being as you lean into love and peace inside of yourself. As you trust the quiet a little more with every single breath, as you surrender to the you that vibrates beyond your thoughts, beyond your accomplishments, beyond your stories. Be at ease. Be at ease. Become aware of your breathing and breathe a deep breath in. Stir your body in small ways. Whenever you're ready, we're going to roll to our side. So if you still have your legs on the chair on the block, slowly move until you're on your side. Use your top hand arm to push into the floor so you can lift and then pivot so that you can come into a seated pose. And rest your hands on the mat beside you for a moment. Exhale the breath. And then we'll inhale together as the arms float up. And into our heart with exhale. May your mind be at ease. And may you be at ease with your. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. Namaste. Have a wonderful evening. And take a big drink of water. If you didn't have water with you, let that be one of the first things you do when you leave your mat, is to go get your drink. I'm gonna push the record off.